What is recorded as oral intake? Any food that becomes liquid at room temperature is recorded as intake. Ice chips are only recorded as 50% of the measured volume. For example, if the entire cup holds 200 ml of fluid and the client is given a full cup of ice, which they eat all of, the nurse will record the fluid intake at 100 ml, or half of the total volume of the cup. This is done to account for all the extra space around the ice cubes. Don't forget to include any liquid the client takes their medications with, as well as any liquid medications as oral intake. I don't recommend putting a pitcher at the bedside because it makes it more difficult to keep track of how much has been consumed over the course of the day. If you do leave the pitcher at the bedside, don't forget to take credit for or document any amount that the client consumed over the course of the shift as oral intake. It is also important to be aware that family members often bring clients drinks also. Those count as intake too, not just what was on the client's tray. Pureed foods, like applesauce, are not considered fluid intake. Strangely enough, gelatin, popsicles, sherbet, ice cream, custard, and sorbet that are liquid at room temperature are counted as oral intake. There are also other fluids that are included as intake. Tube feeding, a liquid food that is put down a tube into the client's stomach, counts as intake, as does any amount of water that is given to the client via the tube for hydration and any liquid medications that are put down the tube. Parenteral or IV fluids count as intake, whether it's a big bag of primary solution that is running over the course of the entire shift or a small bag of IV antibiotics or other medication. In addition, if the client is receiving all of their nutrition through their IV as a special liquid called total parenteral nutrition, or TPN, that counts as intake. Irrigation fluids that go into a urinary catheter count as intake. When those instilled fluids and urine come out of the catheter, they are counted as output. Fluids used to flush or clean out a nasogastric tube that goes up the nose, down the throat, and into the stomach, or a tube that goes directly into the stomach or intestines, count as intake. If a client is receiving peritoneal dialysis, a type of dialysis where fluid is instilled into the peritoneal cavity and then later drained, the fluid that is instilled counts as intake, and the waste fluid that exits the catheter counts as output.